Hiya, I'm Memory Leak. I'm an onion, and I'm trying to prove I know how to read. Unfortunately, I'm very easily distracted. But as I turn to leave...
Oh my god.
ASMR... She woke me up and made me go to the data center, which just so happened to be locked. And then she shows up late, and we leave without checking a single thing. What's the point of all that? Naeki's getting a bit of an attitude.
I feel like that's justified after everything.
I mean, it's reasonable, but I feel like 10 streams ago, he would not have said that. He just would have been like, okay. I got you, trust in the process. He doesn't trust the process anymore. It's the Slender Man! And he's making hot dogs on the stove! The bald silhouette reminded me of Slender Man. What are they doing to my luchadors? This is like just like the random mystical gifs I see on like twitter.com every day, where he hypes himself up to do a crazy jump or a flip or something, lands on the floor like 8 feet from the turnbuckle, gets kicked while he's down by some dudes, put on a stretcher, and then a mob of 20 guys show up to beat him up. This is even structured like an ASMR thumbnail.
It's as bloated as a cow's udder.
Yippee!
Why are you yippee at that?
Because Togami's talking about milking.
This is a small talk we have to fuck. Bakugan ward this against.
Come on.
Enunciation's hard. And yet, I let myself get involved.
Bakugan toe sniffy?
What the hell are you talking about? Share with the class! You can't bogart the goofs of the gas.
I think it's self-explanatory. Only 85 people watch them. Is it people who watch them? Because I think there are more people following the category. Obviously, a lot of those probably don't watch it anymore either. But admittedly, 85 current viewers for a really old single-player game actually isn't that bad. Like, there are so many video games, just in general, like an absurd amount of video games that have come out and been culturally relevant at any given time. So frankly, the fact that there is more than 3 people watching Danganronpa right now at all, to me is pretty incredible. And you know...
Uh-oh. It's you!
Just like me for real. The blood is red!
I'm sorry, I'm drawing gore of your comfort character. One second.
Huh? Stop looking at me. I can stop watching Memory Leak anytime I want. Okay, how about right now? Next week's better. You disappoint me. Hifumi has died again! I look at the ground and I see Epic JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 9 John Rod meme.
Take the steel chair and hit him with it, because he's ignoring you.
It's the Hope's Peak chair! The chair made famous by Hope's Peak Academy! Dude, we used to sit in those.
I used to be a true crime girly, and then it was like, this industry is like getting a little exploitative of victims. And maybe a little too glazing of systems that have, especially with some of the most interesting true crime stories, the systems meant to protect people completely and utterly failed them, and yet people still glaze them for like, wow, they stopped the killer.
I mean, yeah, it's tough, and it's kind of just a thing with storytelling about real things, especially bad things that happen. Oh man, sensationalized. Oh man, you know, it's like watching Sorry, I was just out here. I was just about to compare true crime to wrestling. I might be stupid.
Wrestling.
Memory Leak
I'm
is
Canadian,
a guy,
though, so I
a
don't
little
know that.
onion, who only talks about wrestling. All I think about is wrestling. All I think about is how they made a show on WWE about the behind the scenes of wrestling. And a lot of the storytelling and pushing is about the idea of, like, wrestling being fake. Because it's easier to work in sensational, like, dirt sheet industry drama. Which is something that a lot of, I guess, people like to get into. It's tabloidy.
I think the... Oh, go ahead.
And basically what I'm saying is that true crime is also made to do that. And don't get me wrong, that's not something that only shares with wrestling. But, like, you know, eventually you're going to have to find a way to make Ted Bundy more sensational than Ted Bundy.
I was just gonna go, like, the reason I, like, finally clicked on why people liked wrestling is because somebody, told me the actual counter to, like, you know it's fake, right, is the, you know musicals are fake, right? They're not actually singing.
I mean, it's about as real as, it's a bit more real than TV.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is some physical consequence, but you know what? I can go on the wrestling taste rant now. You've given me an excuse. You've stepped on my trap card. You've rolled your Bakugan on the sand pit that sinks them and sends them to the Doom Dimension to become merged with Masquerade Super Bakugan. Okay? The thing is, and my big issue with wrestling, and again, it has to do with that tabloid shit, is that a lot of wrestling storytelling nowadays is predicated on you paying attention to things like booking and pushes, and talking about wrestling terms and behind the scenes shit, and listening to interviews where wrestlers talk about wrestling being fake. And I don't expect them to sit here 24/7 all the time and act like wrestling isn't a work, because that's stupid and everyone knows wrestling's a work. But I want them to at least give me the opportunity while I'm watching to pretend. Like, you don't watch Breaking Bad and have fucking Walter White look at you and say, but this cancer isn't real. I'm just pretending to have cancer.
This cancer is a plot point.
Because that would take you out of it. And I'm out here watching Triple H go on Twitter.com because his show kinda sucks. And tell people, oh, stop watching it as a critic, be a fan. The problem is, and the main evidence of the show being bad, is that it's really hard for me to not watch it as a critic.
If anyone is watching this wondering, yes, Leak does go on these rants if you let him off stream.
Yes, all the time. I'm obnoxious and evil, and I care way too much about stupid things. Which in some ways is wonderful. Maybe I should be proud of myself. But
I think it's important to be passionate about things, especially in this era of mass fear, mongering, and despair.
Danganronpa. I mean, Danganronpa is a lot like wrestling. Someone has to win, someone has to lose, someone has to die.
So, in a case like Sakura, what's that? Isn't Sakura, like, backflipping off the ring and then winning against herself?
I mean, it's like Sakura throwing the match for the sake of the team. Because her existence is causing some sort of problem for someone else, you know? We're all one big faction. The class in Danganronpa is the Bullet Club now. Well, that's like a heel faction. They do roguish things. The cast of Danganronpa is the conglomeration. Every time they enter a room, the Jumbotron plays them hanging out in like a Friends parody sitcom thing. Because they're just so wholesome and lovely and they love each other and their friends.
I'm gonna be honest, I think most of these teenagers are assholes. I love them for that.
The world needs a little more of that.
So should we get back to the game?
Yeah, maybe Togami can keep talking now. I'm done alienating I'm done alienating the members of my audience that don't watch wrestling. Go Menum, Tachi! I love you, thank you for sticking around. New from Memory Leak. The clumsy onion has waterlogged another laptop. Quick, to the computer store. In this voice pack, you accompany Memory Leak to rectify his mistakes. Console him as he cries into your shoulder, begging you to buy him a new laptop. How pitiful, how soggy. The new Memory Leak voice collection, each piece sold separately. Enjoy your Pepsi Wild Cherry, Togami. Raw! I was not ready to look down a really long gray hallway and see the word raw painted on the door in the same color as human reproductive liquids.
Sure.
I'm so fucking disappointed. I flipped out and screamed, and everyone else in the laboratory is going to think I died. Why can't I not walk here? This is a violation of my rights as an onion. I should be able to read that. I'm getting Japanese mogged.
Well then.
I feel like Toby Fox.
I lived overseas for a very long time, so this kind of Japanese-style scenery is refreshing.
She appreciates it. You know, we talk about like good things in life. Like one of the enemies of being happy is routine. It's why places that are walkable are so nice. You can just go places. You can stop at a different coffee shop. And like those little things are actually like incredible. And I know it's really weird for me to go on and talk about like the beauty of what life can be versus how depressing it often is. Because I just talked about I just said I play fighting games and it makes me act pregnant. But like, sometimes I'm thoughtful, I'm sensitive. I'm a poet. I'm a writer, I'm an artist. I'm an onion. But it makes you appreciate things. It makes you appreciate home, you know? I went out to a different place very far away on a long trip recently because there was an onion family emergency. And it wasn't a very fun trip because there was an onion family emergency. But we were on a long ride back. And the place I live seemed oddly more pretty to look at when I came back than it was when I went. And the place I went was pretty too. It was very countryside. Big farms. And there's something very awe-inspiring to me about just like big things. Like long fields of farm backdropped by large trees, very like American wilderness trees. Sometimes with like windmills in the backdrop. It's very cool to me. And when I was really young, I didn't appreciate that. When I was little, I was very materialistic. I would sit here and I thought if I got good grades in school, I'd get a bunch of money and maids would do my chores for me. And you know, nowadays, I just wish the maids would love me because they're very cute and very attractive. But that's besides the point. But something changed in me at some point. Maybe it was being a theater onion. I don't know, but I realized there was more to life than that. And I started really appreciating just walking. I love walking. And I'm a very
got my
introverted person. So if I am in a situation, if I'm in a very, like, everything's distant from each other, isolated area, countryside kind of places, it kind of enforces the worst parts of my personality. Because I'm someone who closes off and isolates if it's not easy to go out and do things walking on my own 2 feet. Maybe it's just because I don't drive, but I don't like driving. Driving makes me very antsy. Sorry for being antsy. Sorry for being high-strung, but it's how it is, right? And yes, at some point, I'll probably have to get over myself. Because people don't just teleport you to walkable cities. But I do love walking, and I do love places that are made for that. And, you know, sometimes life is beautiful. Especially if you can defeat the mundanity of routine. Because routine's kind of the enemy. Routine's kind of depressing. And that's my ramble. We can go back to reading. We've spent an hour and 15 minutes on about 10 minutes of gameplay. Sorry, I saw these flowers and my first thoughts were lewd and uncouth, so I'm sorry about that. I will keep them to myself.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Please don't skin me! Please don't boil me!